Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So today we're gonna talk about the book 100 Things Millionaires Do. So there are two books actually by the same author Nigel. So 100 Things Millionaires Do, and the second book is 100 Things Successful People Do. So the first book is 100 Things Successful People Do, and the second book is 100 Things Millionaire People Do. The stories of wealth creation. If you are following me on the Instagram, I always talk about the wealth creation, why wealth creation is important. Or if you want to check the real life example of wealth creation, take out any big name like Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos. They all created some kind of wealth. So how to create a wealth? Most of the people don't know that how to create a wealth. So this book will definitely help you to understand what is actually wealth, what is value investing, how to create the wealth. So if this book is kind of, if you are a beginner, then this book will help you to understand a lot of new factors. But if you are little bit into the financial education, if you are educated in the financial aspects, then this book will find you at the average. There are 100 lessons from a millionaire mindset. This book consists of 100 lessons that every millionaires do, or what kind of their lifestyle is, what kind of their mindset is, how their EQ is, emotional quotient. So how this kind of works in their life. So all the kind of knowledge are in this book, in the simple 100 stories. So I'm not going to talk about all the 100 stories. I'm going to give you the top 10 lessons from this book from my perspective, that if you are a beginner or if you are intermediate, this will help you to understand the millionaire mindset, because wealth creation will help you in a lot of ways. Because if you don't have wealth, you will work till you dead. So if you don't want to do that, wealth is really important. If you don't have wealth, you won't survive in a long run. You will survival for the fittest, we always say that. But what is that actually? How to get out of that zone and make something really helpful so you can follow your passion. So if you have kind of wealth, if you are really good at wealth, then you can follow your passion, you can go behind your passion, you can always look for the things you love, and you can have a really good life, you can enjoy your life with family. So let's get started with the top 10 lessons you will get from this book. And before that, I will give you something really important. Even though there are top 10 lessons, I will highly suggest you to pick up this book and read all the 100 lessons, because don't consider this review as a complete book. I mean, don't consider any of my review as a complete book, that you can just watch my review and you think that you know the book in details. This will never happen, because unless you read the things, unless you understand things by yourself, you will never know what the actual lies in the book. The first lesson is wealth is important. If you don't have wealth, you won't survive in a long run. Try to create wealth, try to understand wealth in a different manner. What is the wealth in real estate? If you have real estate, then you have kind of wealth. If you have funds, if you have share market, that's kind of wealth you have. If you have equity in any company, then that's kind of wealth you have. So first thing is understand wealth, and wealth is important in your life. The second thing is planning is key. Believe me or not, if you don't plan your year, if you don't plan your life, you will never get most out of it. If you really want to get most out of your life, then planning is a key. Planning is a key of successful people. Planning is a key to be more productive. Planning is a key to do everything you want. So try to plan your life, try to plan your retirement, try to plan your marriage, try to plan your next 10 years, try to plan your this year, even try to plan your next day. So I usually plan my year, then I divide my year into 4 quarters, then I divide my quarter into every month, and then I divide my month into the weeks. So that's how I plan my every year. Even I started planning for my retirement from the last year also. So planning is a key. Try to build the habit of planning. The third lesson is most millionaires start with nothing. So most of you guys know that you just see them on the Instagram, you see their social media profiles. They have reached to that point that they can have everything. But do you see that their struggle? Do you know their struggle? Do you know their starting point? Most of the people don't know. Even most of the people know their starting point. They don't understand that everyone starts with zero. Even when we write table on the table, or when we write table on any paper, we always start with the zero. So you have to understand that zero is a starting point. You have to start with the zero. You will not realize, there is a quote like nothing happens. There are years that nothing happens, and there are days where life happens. So even I believe that, I used to do all these things for the last 2-3 years. There is nothing happen in my life. But if you look at my last 3-4 months, there is like everything is happening in my life. I work with international clients, I get paid, I make more than 52 lakhs in a month. I get everything in whatever I want. So you have to stick to it. Everyone start with zero, and you will also start with zero. But over the period of time, you will reach to some point that you will have everything you want. So believe that everyone start with zero. The fourth lesson is, your friends can make you or break you. Even there is a podcast I made on this typical line, that is, your friends can make you and break you. There is a quote that you are average of 5 people you surround with. So if you are surrounded with the very productive people who think like a millionaire, who think always about the business, then there are chances that you will end up doing the business. So try to think, try to understand try to analyze all the friends, that who are your friends. I am not saying to cut them off out of your life, but try to have less contact with them. Try to have contact with the people who encourage you. Try to have a contact with the people who motivate you, who have something, their dreams, who have something, their lifelong planning. If you do this, then you will understand that your life will change over the period of time, because you are average of 5 people. I have seen this in my life also. I used to hang out with a lot of non so good friends, but I try to have limit. Try to do the limit with their hangouts. So now I hang out with the very productive people. I have different kind of friends, but I can see the growth. I can see the growth in my life. I can see the growth in my lifestyle. So if you want to achieve really good life, if you want to achieve really good success, then try to understand your friends, try to understand your circle, and try to have a minimum hangout with the people who are not that productive. Try to hang out with the people who are a lifelong learner, who have dreams, who have goals to achieve something in their life. Fifth lesson is, save before spending. Most of the people, we live in the society culture where we see that having an iPhone, having a car, having a bike, that makes you really wealthy. But that's not true. You have to save money if you really want to become a wealthy, because see, this will give you the temporary happiness. But if you really want to become a really good at the end of the life, then you should be saving. You have to save a lot, you have to invest a lot. Don't think that social media, this kind of social, having a car, having a smartphone will upgrade your lifestyle. You're just spending a lot of money on the unnecessary thing that will give you nothing. I mean, if you have an iPhone and if you have a simple phone which can do your regular work, what's the difference in that? You must be saying this because of the status you want, but that status is giving you something really important, that status is paying you something, then absolutely not. Then you have to think about it. Don't try to spend money on unnecessary things. Even I don't spend money on unnecessary. I can prefer iPhone, I can prefer 4-wheeler, but I can prefer a lot of things, but I don't go behind that, because I know that these things are non-essential and non-important in my life. I will try to create my wealth at the end of the life. I will try to plan my retire. If you ask me, I have invested a lot in the mutual funds, in the share market in the last 2 years. So I know the value I have invested in the money, and that can give me a lot in the future years. So try to think about it. Don't spend money on unnecessary things. This is one of the important lessons from this book. Sixth lesson is, take some risk. We live in the society where taking risk is not really adventurous. Taking risk is not acknowledged that much, but you have to take some risk if you really want to do something. You have to take small list. I mean, start with the small list. Taking a risk for the month, taking a risk for little decisions. Then you will reach a point that where you can take a big decision also. You can take the big risk also. But believe me that risk taking is really important factor in your life. If you really want to become something, then try to take the risk. But also it is important that you have to calculate the risk factor. You have to calculate that how much you are going to get out of this risk. If you can, I mean, it's important to take the calculated risk. If you can do that, then you can definitely become an extra millionaire. Seventh lesson is, leverage your money. Because see, when there is a point come in your life where you will have money, you will have everything you want, but what you are going to do with that money? Don't try to put in just a bank where inflation rates are there, where interest are there. So try to understand how to use money in different sectors. Not only talking about the bank sector, there are government bonds, there are mutual funds, there are market, there are real estate. There are a lot of things in this world available to leverage your money. Try to understand the money factor really well. Try to understand the money psychology really well, and you can take the risk to leverage your money. Because if you don't use your money to leverage your life, then there is no use of that money, or there is no use of that money. You just keep in the bank and you will say that okay, I have some funds. Rather use that funds to make more money. Eighth lesson is be educated, not entertained. Most of the people follow this social culture of having a Netflix, having Spotify Premium, having Netflix account, Amazon Prime account, and lot of unnecessary things in their life. Do you really need it? I mean, this is your peak time to do something education, because our brain stops working after a few hours of time. If you go in the corporate life and if you see the brain damage, or if you say the creativity of the people after 30 when they cross the 30, then they lose their creativity. They don't try to get out of most of the productive days from their brain. So till 30 age you have your brain, you have most of your creative work. Try to educate your brain as much as you possible. After some years you will have everything you want, and then you can do as much as you want entertainment. You can go and travel everything, you can watch any movie you want. But think about it, do you really need entertainment in this place right now, or do you want education right now so you can secure your future life? And most of people will follow this kind of trend that you live only once and everything blah blah blah. But think in the practical way. You are not going to die tomorrow. Maybe you are going to die today also, but you have to plan your year. What if you don't die in upcoming days, but you have life till retirement? You have to help your family, you have to think about your marriage, you have to think about your house. A lot of things matter because of your current situation. If you do it rightly, then you can leverage your time to do a lot of things. Second last lesson is invest your money in what you enjoy. Okay, so most of the people don't know this, but for me it's a kind of a books, it's kind of new learning, it's kind of the course I enjoy. So these are the things I enjoy myself. I invest a lot of money in this kind of stuff, to doing the course, to do. The last and very important lesson is pass your knowledge. I used to think that I need everything, but then I realized that after reading a lot of books, realized that contribution is a key to success. If you really want to become really good, then you have to contribute to the world. Whatever you are learning, you have to put in the world so other people also can use it and enjoy it. So this is kind of say that good karma. If you believe in the karma, then think about the good karma, and how you will do the good karma by giving everything. So try to give your knowledge to every possible person. Try to give everything to every possible person so they can use your knowledge to have something in their life. If you don't do that, I mean, what's the use of your knowledge if you just use it for yourself? Try to use your knowledge to educate other people also. Consider this video as my contribution to the world. So you can use these kind of lessons to make your wealth, to make a happy lifestyle. Hopefully you get all the idea about the lesson. So believe me, these are just 10 lessons from the book. There are another 19 lessons available in the book. So if you really want to know, if you really want to understand what are those other 19 lessons, then grab this book. There is a link in the description. You can buy this book. I will highly suggest you to read this book. But if you are a beginner, then I will highly suggest you to read this book. But if you are intermediate in the financial education, in the business background, then you will have kind of average book. This will treat you as an average book. But most of you guys are in the beginner stage, then wealth is really important, believe me. And hopefully you enjoy this video. Do let me know what you think about this video. Do let me know how many things you know and how many things you are starting from today. Hopefully I will see you in the next video. If you are not following me on Instagram, go check on the Instagram. I will try to put the quotes of this book and the review on the Instagram, also on the blog. So do let me know if you want to make me to review on any other books, or do let me know what kind of video you want. So I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.